A building burned in Berlin on February 27, 1933, and within weeks, democracy was ash. I've spent 30 years reading testimony from men who were there that night. The archives don't always agree with the headlines. February 27, 1933, Berlin was already fracturing. The Nazis had just won elections, but they didn't have absolute power yet. Democracy, for all its flaws, was still technically standing. That's the crucial detail people forget. Hitler needed something, a catalyst, a reason to consolidate. Around 9 p.m., a man named Ernst Torgler, communist politician, veteran, was at the Reichstag building. He'd come to retrieve some documents, nothing unusual. He left before 9:30. That's what his testimony claimed anyway. But here's what I want you to hold. Torgler was gone before the fire started. The prosecution would later say otherwise. The gap between what happened and what people believed happened, that gap is where history bent. Just after 9 p.m., a janitor named Marinus noticed smoke rising from the building's interior, not the roof inside. The fire was already moving through the plenary chamber. By 9:15, flames were visible from the street. Berliners heard sirens. They smelled smoke. Within minutes, firefighters were racing toward the Reichstag. None of them knew what this fire would cost democracy. The official story came fast. Police arrested a man named Marinus van der Lubbe, a Dutch communist, unemployed, mentally unstable. He was found inside the burning building with firelighters. The Nazi press ran with it: communist conspiracy, arson, sabotage. By the next morning, the narrative was locked. I've read the arrest logbook myself. Van der Lubbe confessed almost immediately, almost too immediately. But here's where the story splits. Some historians argue van der Lubbe acted alone, a drifter with a grudge, no conspiracy. Others point to evidence that Nazi stormtroopers, the SA, deliberately set the fire to frame communists. The testimonies contradict each other. Witnesses saw men in brown uniforms inside the building, or did they? Memory is unreliable, especially in chaos. February 28, 1933, one day after the fire, Hitler demanded emergency powers. President Hindenburg, elderly and fragile, signed the Enabling Act. Civil liberties suspended, press censored, communists arrested en masse. Thousands of people who'd done nothing, were thrown into makeshift detention camps. The fire had given Hitler exactly what he needed. Whether he lit it or simply seized the opportunity remains, even now, genuinely contested. Van der Lubbe was tried for treason. He claimed he acted alone. Prosecutors claimed he was part of a larger communist plot, though they produced no credible evidence of co-conspirators. The trial became theater. Nazi newspapers ran daily coverage. Communists were portrayed as enemies of the state. The verdict was predetermined. Van der Lubbe was executed in January 1934. His last words were never officially recorded. The communist suspects arrested alongside him. Most were eventually released. No evidence, no charges. They'd simply been detained long enough to clear the street of opposition. That's what troubles me most about this case. Whether van der Lubbe was a lone actor or a pawn, the outcome was identical. The Nazis had their excuse. Democracy had its funeral. Decades later, historians like Fritz Tobias examined the physical evidence. The fire, he argued, spread too slowly to be professional arson. Van der Lubbe, acting alone, fit the timeline. But other scholars, Ernst Nolte, others, pointed to witness testimony of SA men inside the building. The debate persists because the evidence is genuinely ambiguous. History rarely offers clean answers. What we know for certain: the fire happened. The Nazis exploited it. Thousands died in camps that followed. Whether Hitler's hand lit the match or simply waited for fortune to hand him one, the result was the same. A democratic nation collapsed not from external invasion, but from internal rupture. And a fire, real or convenient, accelerated that collapse. The Reichstag fire remains one of history's most contested moments because it sits at the hinge between accident and intention. Did Hitler plan it? The evidence suggests he didn't need to. A nation already fracturing, already afraid, already willing to surrender liberty for the promise of order, that's the real story. The fire was just the match. Subscribe. Every week we investigate the moments where history pivoted, where the real culprit was buried under official stories.